Start with, I want to thank our board for reducing the millage rate for the second time in the last 2 years. The 2018 millage rate is 15.33, which when I started it was 15.98. So we're heading in that right direction. Also, from a local revenue for next year's budget, or this year's budget, FY 18-19, the net increase is a minus $6,748 over what we asked for out of last year's local budget, so we decreased that part. Now, of course, with our tax base going up, we did increase our overall budget right at $2.6 million. And some of the expenditure came from, we had an increase in a TRS mandatory retirement that we have to pay of $1 million. We also have a double textbook adoption this year for a total of $900,000. A few of the other things that went into that increase is we had an additional, we added a K4 software fast forward, which is a language development program for $111,000. Our audio enhancement camera licensing program that runs the cameras that we have put into the classrooms, $85,000. Some of our assistance with our RTI program, process monitoring, was $40,000. We were able to increase our bus driver pay and longevity supplements, and that was $130,000 of additional funds. We also some of the other SPLOST revenue items. I would like to say one thing though. There's a big difference between SPLOST funds and property taxes. And with SPLOST that was approved the last SPLOST election that we had, and those are for capital improvements and capital investments. We cannot use SPLOST funds for the day-to-day operation of the school system. That's reserved for our general funds, which is our QBE funding and also our local property taxes. In this last year and this year, we purchased 12 new school buses. We have put safety vestibules at Hill City and Harmony. We've done a temporary one at Pickens Junior High. We have enclosed, fenced in the new Jasper Middle School campus. We've also were able to redo some rooms here to bring in all of the classes, PE classes, weightlifting classes, all that is now held in the building. The only time our students go outside during the school day in this building is to go to Ag Barn with the teacher. We have also replaced a new radio system with GPS tracking on our school buses. It also, it's digitized. We now own the entire system. We don't lease anything. But the big thing is that our sheriff's office can also contact any radio through their frequencies. So it is an added safety. We have purchased and installed security cameras at every campus. We have purchased and installed classroom cameras for instructional use, but also safety use. FY 18, we purchased laptops, iPads, Chromebooks, 80 Promethean boards, and we replaced the content filter and firewalls. We've added sound and projection systems in 6 cafeterias and 2 gyms. For FY 19, we're planning on purchasing an additional 900 iPads, 1,500 Chromebooks, 350 laptops, and 30 Promethean boards. We've also installed, or in the process of installing, card readers at all of our schools. We redid and repurposed the old Jasper Elementary School gym to a county-wide warehouse and receiving so that we can purchase in bulk and buy things and store them at the warehouse. We've also constructed the Pickens High School Welcome Center that you all passed coming in. We brought our alternative school in-house and we redid that building and also converted it into training areas. And then the other thing is that we installed turf, lights, scoreboard, and track here at the high school. We are in the process right now of in the planning process, drawing process, and hopefully before our next school board meeting we'll have an artist rendition of our junior high and the changes that we're going to be making there. We're going to totally enclose that campus for safety reasons. We're going to move the offices to the front. We'll also be adding a performance building, much smaller than this, but adding it there also. We're going to bring the baseball field to the high school. That way we'll have all of our sports on one, and cross country, we've already laid out a cross country track for them for next year. But that way we have all of our kids here at the high school, and they won't have to be going to other areas to practice. I can't keep them safe at Lee Newton Park or Roper Park. If they're over there, anybody could run with them, and that has been occurring. But I don't want kids riding with other kids to go practice. I know that we're not going to build a golf course nor a swimming pool, so those sports will have to leave the campus to go play. But we're going to try to have as much as that on site. Another thing is that we're going to be doing some things with our softball complex. We want to make sure that we're in Title IX compliant and don't have an issue there. And we would prefer to solve issues before they ever arose with OCR. All right, are there any questions? Yes, sir.
How can you justify spending that much money for a television set? I'm talking about the school, your schoolhouse, your jumbotron. That's made for colleges, that's made for bowl games, for a high school.
Yes, sir.
I don't care if other stations have it. We have no money. You know, every time we come in here, and by the way, the great amount you gave us was 30 cents per $1,000. Big deal. Now, how much is our prices are going to go up for what our house is worth? I want to know that.
I have no idea.
I don't either. But you are the guy in charge. So
I don't tell you how much your house property taxes are going to go
That's what I'm
up.
talking about. I want to know all that million you put on fake grass and a big television set. That's ridiculous. That's my opinion.
Yes, sir, it is.
You know?
It is your opinion. In order to, one of the things about the fake grass,
Yes.
in order to secure all of our athletics, our softball, our baseball, not softball, baseball, but to move the baseball field here, we need to be able to use this field for more than just football. We use it for junior high. We use it for even the Youth Football Association uses it. So it's not just a high school football field. It's a multi-purpose field. We also use it for all of our soccer games, our band.
I don't see you on any television stations anywhere.
No.
You're just a little school. I mean, technically, you're a very
But
small country. I mean, a very small county. I'm sorry, I had a thing about 2 months ago.
All Pickens games are played on Channel 3 on the local cable provider.
Yes, ma'am.
So yes, we are on TV, buddy.
Turf field. Does that save money?
Yes, it does.
Versus the grass field from having to do repairs, from the water causing, ripples in the field, but they have to come in and repair it. Having a turf field, does that save money in the long run?
Yes, it does. It does save money in the long run. One thing is it allows us to play immediately on it after rain. It allows our soccer to play on it that has not been able to play on the field for a long time because of the winter rains. And to practice on, our band can practice on it. And but yes, it does save us money over the years.
And there's draining underneath it, correct?
There's
Draining.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's one of the big things. It does drain very quickly. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, eventually that plastic grass will erode and it's gonna have to be replaced down the line.
25-year warranty on it.
So they'll replace it.
And 20, yes, ma'am. They sure will.
How much did they charge to mow the grass and receive per line?
Over the years, I don't know what the actual cost for that is, but it did cost a lot of money to upkeep that field. It also cost us to stripe it and everything every Friday. But the big thing is it limited the amount of playing time on that field with our other sports. We couldn't practice on that field with our other sports because natural grass will not take that kind of beating. And so either that or we build more practice fields and everything else. But yes, not that we're trying to be like any other county, but we're also the last one in our entire region to go to a turf field. Gilmer, Fannin, Union, Lumpkin, White, all of them have already gone to, and we're the last ones in our county. Whitfield County, all of them have turf.
Well, you did answer. I had a whole list of questions I wanted to ask, but you answered them before I asked.
Okay.
But another one I wanted to ask was, item number 596 on the budget.
I don't have the budget in front of me. You can share what it is.
It's residential facilities. What is that for?
Residential,
Residential facilities, is item number 596 on the school budget. What is that for, residential facilities?
on this year's budget,
Yes.
I'd have to look at it and see. I don't know. And I didn't bring our finance director with us, but I'll be glad to find out.
And another question I had was, to me, sports is not that important in school, it's the knowledge. Sports don't do jobs.
No, but it does keep a lot of kids in school
That's true.
and keeps them out of trouble.
It's useful. But I noticed on the budget that you pay your athletic director more money than you pay the teachers and some of the principals. That don't seem right.
We also, on a pay scale, it's a lot of it has to do with years of in the business and also the degrees that you hold and the positions.
But it's just an athletic director.
I know. Yeah, you're right. That's probably the reason. And I don't mean to say this way I'm going to say it because I know it's going to kill me and everything else, but probably the highest paid person at the University of Georgia, is, other than the president, is the football coach, athletic director. Well, we're local TV now.
I noticed that they spend.
Yes, ma'am.
We understand that the sports, the field and everything brings in revenue. That's why they put the money towards it. It brings revenue into the school. The only problem I have is I have a son who's a senior who's been trying to get an ROTC program.
I am too. And I have been talking to, yes. We have been on the list for 5 years. And I have talked to Senator Collins' office, and they're going to try to help us expedite the program. We have signed up with all 5 branches, and we're just waiting for the federal government to fund one of the branches to allow us to have an ROTC program, but that is one of the things that's high on my priority list. Yeah, as soon as the federal government agrees, one of the branches say yes, then hopefully we're one of the top ones on the list. Yes, sir.
I don't count local TV like that, or a TV station.
I understand.
Because that's local access. That the cable system has to carry. It's not on NBC, it's not on CBS, it's not on ABC, it's not on Fox, it's not on CNN. I don't count that as a local station.
The purchase of that scoreboard and the way it was, in my opinion, was a good purchase. And I'll have people that disagree with me all day long, and I'll have people that agree with me all day long. But that was a decision that the board approved, that I recommended, and that is my decision. And it's there, it's here, it's running, it's working, and it's paid for. Right. Exactly. Yes, ma'am.
First of all, Dr. Wilson, I'd like to congratulate you, the school board, principals, teachers on the increase in the I can't even say it now.
Our graduation rate.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Yes.
that. I think that's.
It did go up to 96%. 91 and
And based
96%.
on what it is in the state of Georgia, we are definitely exceeding. So again, congratulations. Secondly, as a parent with a child in high school who's involved in Friday night activities at the stadium and one that is coming up from the junior high school, I love the field, I love the scoreboard, it needed to be done. We have a wonderful atmosphere, and if anybody was at the stadium this past Friday night, it was packed. So.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, she said that the knowledge is the best thing in the school, which I absolutely agree, because kids can't live without knowledge. But football, softball, basketball is just not about football, softball, basketball. Kids learn more on that field that they will take with them when they leave this school than they will leave with the academics. And I appreciate the field, and I know all the citizens, the 6,000 that were there Friday night, appreciate it. I don't have a football player, but I have other athletic kids, and I promise you, she has learned more through her coaches and her mentors than she has in my house.
Yes, ma'am.
Question about the graduation gown, seeing as how we have a senior.
Yes.
A lot of the kids that we've talked to that, have issues with it as much as the parents do with them not being able to wear the traditional green and white. A lot of them have been looking forward to wearing that as their uncles, aunts, parents have done the same thing. And I understand that you said that there were 5 classes that is different. Everybody knows that you're going to have one class here and there that's going to go against tradition. And as far as the girls worrying about it being white and being rained on, you wear clothing underneath your gown. So somebody needs to inform those young ladies that you're supposed to wear clothes under them, so if they get rained on, you won't be able to see through.
We attempt to inform all of our young ladies.
But, I mean, for a lot of these kids, it is about tradition. It's not just...
Some of it is about tradition. And I would agree with that, but also in the day world that we live in.
But you can't accommodate a small group.
No.
Versus, you're to these kids, you're punishing them for knowing what gender they are and wanting to do that. If these kids that don't know or are confused or think that they're fluid or whatever they want to call themselves, don't want to wear a white one or a green one, then put them in a different one that has both colors. But don't punish the rest of the kids for a small minority of children.
I understand.
It's
Here
very
again,
hard. Like
if you...
our child doesn't want to walk in one of the gowns that they presented. A lot of the kids feel that way. What are you going to do if the kids don't buy the gown? I mean, are you
We'll have a very short homecoming. I mean, not homecoming, but graduation.
but that's not fair to them.
No, it isn't.
They've been told their entire lives this is what they're working for. This is the end goal, and they're there. And then they're told that, okay, this is going to change because, however y'all want to say it, everybody knows what the reasoning is, and we get that. But it would be better suited to say, okay, the incoming class, we're going to change it when y'all graduate. So we have 4 years to get used to the idea that, okay, we're not going to have the white and green. Don't do it with the outgoing class that's worked hard to get there.
Actually, this decision was made last year. And we changed it this year, and still last year. Partly because of that reason there. And we could, but that could be stated every class after yours. Reality, every school that Johnston's has gone to one color gown. Also, historically, we have had 6 classes since 1999 to do all green. And
That was the class's decision.
but the thing is, as your superintendent, would you want me to do everything that I possibly could do to keep us out of expensive lawsuits?
But you're looking at it as a lawsuit from a minority of people. If you
All it
have
takes
parents-
is,
if
but
you
it
have
takes one
parents of
person.
A child, that my son was born a boy, he knows he's a boy, and to me, he's being discriminated against because he knows that because he has a penis, he's a boy. I mean, that's exactly what it feels like. You're punishing these kids for being normal, and that's not fair to them. So what are you teaching them? That the small minority, because they feel uncomfortable, then you're going to have to make everybody appease them because
But-
they don't want to stand down?
I do understand. But the same token, the law, and in all the areas of the law, is not for the majority. It's for the minority that's going to break it. And that's the reason we even have a law. But we avoided last year having a lawsuit over this that would potentially could cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars by not changing the color of the gown. And so with legal counsel and everything else, it's more prudent, unfortunately for the ramifications, but from a taxpayer's advantage. I mean, you would not want me to flippantly say, okay, sue us.
You would have more supporters that would back you.
I could have hundreds and hundreds of supporters, but all it takes is one lawsuit. One lawsuit out of Douglas County caused the entire nation not to be able to have prayer led by anybody at ball games, not allowed daily prayer in schools, and that was one parent out of Douglas County. That's all it takes is one parent to sue.
It takes weak judges that interpret the Constitution the way they want to.
That is true. Yes, ma'am.
Your school budget went from 42.3 million to 47.5 million in 2 years. Is any of that extra money coming from SPLOST?
Yes, some of it is. Now, of course, I don't have all those numbers right in front of me, and so I'm agreeing with what you say, but I don't have the numbers in front. Now, if you want to come by the office and we sit down with Amy, I'll go over the whole budget with you. Well, then why are we asking them?
She didn't know.
She didn't know?
She couldn't tell me right then. I didn't follow up on it. That was why I asked you.
Sure. I didn't bring the budget material with me, to be honest with you. I just brought that little bit that I got.
It's not coming from taxes. It's got to be coming from QBE.
It is. The increased revenue in the taxes, I mean, it is coming from QBE, and the way that we have been we did a very, very good job of correctly coding students this last year. We had an increase from state at mid-year because we made sure that we put the number of students in classes that needed to be in there. We looked at classes that were not making based on class size, and we corrected some of those issues. So we're doing everything we can from a scheduling standpoint to make sure that we're being the most effective and efficient way to capture all the money that we can from the state correctly.
I know y'all got a head.
We did. Yes, ma'am. And hopefully that would not have gone up as high, but we also had that $1 million hit on teacher retirement that we have no control over. Yes, sir.
I'd like to make an observation. I don't know if countywide everybody's seeing the same thing. I commute several miles a day to Pickens County, back and forth to work, and I've noticed that the school bus traffic seems to be much less, a lot less congested. Is that everywhere? I want to brag on y'all.
Well, I wouldn't have made that statement the first month of school. But it is getting better, and we are getting, we still have some double routes that are creating some issues. And once we can hire enough bus drivers, we can even make it even better as far as the traffic control goes. And the bus drivers is not just a North Georgia issue. I was out in Arizona a couple of weeks ago and passed a school system out there, and there's a big sign, bus drivers wanted, so it must be a national problem.
We have training classes every month.
Yes.
Starting today. Just
Absolutely.
no friends.
We'll simplify the application process.
What do they pay bus drivers?
We start bus drivers out, we just increased their pay to try to be competitive with some of the counties around us. It starts out at 17-something an hour, going up to 20-something an hour with some longevity now that we've added to it. So it's, you know, it's
Not that
not,
hard either.
no,
I can teach you how to drive that bus.
absolutely.
Does it require a Class B license?
And it is considered you know, you do get benefits.
That part-time job, you only get paid while you're on the road.
You do, but it does open up for benefits and retirement also. You can have those benefits with it. It's minimum is 5 hours pay per day. I think it is. I think that's what we do is 5 hours minimum. But then there's also other things like field trips and extracurricular and everything else that you can drive if you wanted to. Any other questions?
You answered all mine before I even asked.
Thank you. I do want to thank all of you for coming. We'll have another one of these after the first of the year. I try to do like 4 a year as far as superintendent's chat. I did it as a principal for years, but of course I want all of you to know you don't have to wait for a chat to come talk. Just give me a call. You're welcome to drop by, but I'm in and out a lot, or have other people in my office, but you're welcome to drop by, but just give me a call and come by if you have any issues or concerns. I do want to thank you for taking the time to come tonight, and because I know you care about our schools and our kids, and that's what it's all about. But thank you.